Good evening, and welcome to the Universidad Europea de Madrid. My name is Alan Palmer, Director of Academic Orientation, and it is both an honor and a pleasure to welcome you each to this open house event, which aims to shed light upon our bachelor's degrees offered 100% in English within the Faculty of STEAM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. The bachelor's degrees we will cover this evening are the following: Computer Engineering, Aerospatial and Aircraft Engineering, Industrial System Engineering, Civil Engineering, and lastly, Fundamentals of Architecture. Please know that beyond this virtual event, we would be delighted to invite you to our campus in person for you to see up close our classrooms and state-of-the-art installations, like our wind tunnel, our Fab Lab, our Industry 4.0 laboratory, our motor and mechanical production laboratory, just to name a few. Overall, we are a private international university whose main campus in Madrid is located 15 kilometers to the southwest of the city center within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón. But please note that we do have a smaller, more boutique-style campus in Alcobendas located in the north of Madrid. I would say our university is characterized and truly driven by our emphasis of learning by doing. That is, a large portion of our degree's curricula take place outside of the traditional classroom, within our on-campus laboratories, workshops, simulation zones, as well as in real-life professional setting, within the realms of, for example, airport infrastructure, historic building restoration, satellite and aircraft design, mechanical supply chain, automobile manufacturing, robotics, and renewable energy, just to name a few. Studying at the Universidad Europea is not just a place where you will attend classes, participate in internships, research, and obtain your degree, but rather, in my opinion, it is a platform for you to spring into the world with a more globalized, digitalized, and entrepreneurial mentality. We also foster a multicultural environment in which 1 in every 3 students are international. So, aside from introducing you to our distinguished professors, explaining the curricula of the aforementioned degrees, providing an overview of campus life and culture, detailing the admissions process, and answering your questions, I am also aware that many of you will be departing your respective home countries and relocating to Spain to embark on this new chapter. As a foreigner myself, that is one thing you and I will share in common. Having resided, studied, and worked in Spain for 7 years, I also look forward to talking about the reality of moving to Spain and forming part of this amazing university community. We thoroughly hope you find this event both insightful and beneficial as you research the various options of which university do I choose. In the following short video, the rector of the Universidad Europea de Madrid, Dr. Elena Gazapo, will speak about our academic model.
Hola, mi nombre es Elena Gazapo, soy la rectora de la Universidad Europea de Madrid y quiero darte las gracias por estar con nosotros en nuestra jornada de puertas abiertas. Sabemos que estás en un momento muy importante de tu vida. Estás a punto de comenzar una nueva etapa. Un futuro que comienza en la elección de universidad, ya sea para cursar una titulación de grado o un ciclo formativo de grado superior. La Universidad Europea está formada por una red de instituciones presentes en Madrid, Valencia, Canarias, Oporto y Lisboa, que comparten una visión única, la visión One University. Con más de 25 años de trayectoria, 25.000 alumnos y más de 80.000 egresados, proporcionamos a nuestros estudiantes una educación integral, formando líderes y profesionales preparados para dar respuesta a las necesidades de un mundo global, para aportar valor en sus profesiones y contribuir al progreso social siempre desde un espíritu emprendedor y de compromiso ético. Nuestro compromiso con nuestros estudiantes se sustenta en un sólido modelo académico eminentemente práctico, que permite conocer la realidad profesional en un entorno global y multicultural donde más del 30% de los estudiantes son internacionales y con acuerdos de intercambios y prácticas en más de 70 países. En la Universidad Europea de Madrid contamos con una amplia oferta formativa en la gran mayoría de las áreas de conocimiento, con más de 200 grados, ciclos formativos de grado superior, posgrados y programas de la Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid Universidad Europea. Nuestra comunidad docente permanece en constante contacto con las profesiones para garantizar una formación a la vanguardia de las necesidades del mercado laboral, lo que se traduce en más de 6.000 acuerdos de colaboración con empresas y con elevadas tasas de empleabilidad cercanas al 90% y con rangos salariales un 40% por encima de la media de universidades privadas. Este contacto con las profesiones también se pone de manifiesto en nuestra oferta académica, en permanente actualización para responder a las necesidades profesionales en diferentes áreas como educación, ingeniería o comunicación, por nombrar algunas de ellas. Además, en los últimos meses ha quedado de manifiesto la importancia del cuidado de la salud como elemento clave para la sociedad. Por eso apoyamos el concepto One Health, una sola salud, una estrategia global que defiende que la salud humana y la salud animal son interdependientes y están vinculadas a los ecosistemas en los que coexisten. Lo concebimos y lo implementamos a través de una nueva propuesta formativa que incluye biomedicina, veterinaria y medio ambiente y sostenibilidad. En la Universidad Europea queremos acompañarte en tu viaje y lo hacemos a través de nuestro modelo académico de aprendizaje experiencial HighFlex, que tiene un enfoque eminentemente práctico que te permitirá adquirir los conocimientos, las competencias y valores adecuados para el desarrollo de tu futura profesión, así como afrontar los retos de la transformación social y digital. Un viaje de aprendizaje en el que contarás con las mejores instalaciones, equipo docente y tecnología para que aprendas haciendo, enfrentándote desde los primeros años de formación a situaciones simuladas y reales del día a día de las profesiones. Un modelo que te permitirá ganar horas de vuelo gracias a la última tecnología en laboratorios y entornos virtuales, contando siempre con la cercanía y la dedicación constante de tus profesores. ¿Quieres saber cómo es el día a día estudiando en la Universidad Europea? Tendrás a tu disposición un campus seguro, con magníficas instalaciones y laboratorios, como Industria 4.0, que cuenta con las principales tecnologías como Internet de las Cosas, ciberseguridad, sensores o Big Data, entre otros, para garantizar un aprendizaje basado en proyectos con el estado del arte de la cuarta revolución industrial. El Human Performance Research Lab, un espacio de última generación para el aprendizaje transdisciplinar sobre los beneficios y usos del ejercicio físico en la salud y en el rendimiento de las personas. O el hospital simulado, para que puedas practicar con las situaciones que viven los profesionales sanitarios, pero en un entorno seguro. El elevado número de profesores que siguen en ejercicio profesional, cuya enseñanza está directamente relacionada con su experiencia laboral, te garantizan una conexión con el mundo real desde el primer año. Además, contarás con aulas dotadas con la última tecnología y podrás hacer uso de diferentes herramientas digitales como entornos de simulación, gamificación, laboratorios virtuales y contenidos digitales de alto valor añadido. Todo ello accesible también fuera del horario de clase para maximizar tus horas de vuelo. Y todo esto en el entorno de nuestros campus seguros, en los que podrás participar en múltiples actividades y exprimir al máximo la vida universitaria. Toda nuestra comunidad universitaria te está esperando para acompañarte en este viaje donde la educación personalizada, el conocimiento humano y la tecnología más avanzada se dan la mano. Te dejo con los equipos de facultades y escuelas que te van a mostrar tu día a día desde las áreas de conocimiento.
I would now like to hand the reins over to our professors and heads of department who have so kindly dedicated their time and expertise to speak about our degrees offered 100% in English. In the following order, we will hear from the Vice Dean of Science and IT Engineering, Dr. Pedro Lara, who will speak to us about our bachelor's degree in computer engineering. Next, I, on behalf of the Vice Dean of the School of Engineering, Dr. Veronica Ejido, will speak about 3 bachelor's degrees within our School of Engineering: Aerospatial and Aircraft Engineering, Mechanical System Engineering, and Civil Engineering. Lastly, to conclude the presentations, we will hear virtually from both the Vice Dean of Architecture, Dr. Francisco Domoso, as well as the Director of our International Office, Dr. Andrés Abasolo, who will speak to us about our bachelor's degree and Fundamentals of Architecture. Before welcoming Dr. Lara to join me here on the stage, please sit back again and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of STEAM.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pedro Lara, and I am Vice Dean of the faculty in charge of bachelor's degrees in science and computer science. And I look forward to speaking about our bachelor's degrees in computer science. Please note that I have a plane to catch, and I will not be able to be present for the Q&A session at the end. So if you have any questions regarding this degree, please send those through the live chat. First, I would like to talk a bit about our School of STEAM. The most important point is our methodology, project-based learning. What is this? This is a methodology that forces our students to face many different projects or different levels to let them to get used to the way they will work in future. Projects are the best way to prepare engineers for the real world. Projects will give you all the skills you require, such as teamwork, problem solving, communication, time management, and make possible to connect different concepts in a same project. How do we do this? Well, the most important is a mix between a qualified staff and excellent facility, hardware as well as software. A true ecosystem where you can find our Fab Lab at your disposal to materialize your ideas, our tech factory to develop your own software or other products with the possibility of testing them in the wind tunnel, for instance, the physics labs, Industry 4.0 lab, automotive lab, all of them with the latest equipment and absolutely available to all our students. As you can see, a whole range of possibilities to enhance your learning. Now, I would like to present a brief summary of the computer engineering degree, its main contents, and how our project-based learning methodology is implemented in it. This program is over 20 years old and has changed several times throughout its history. As you know, computer science is one of the fastest evolving disciplines, and one of our main objectives is to keep the studies plans as up-to-date as possible, something that is not easy in a field like this. Starting from a traditional program more focused on software engineering, computer networks, and system administration, we have been improving it to include areas such as artificial intelligence, big data, robotics, or digital transformation, among others. Along the degree, students will have the chance to work with many programming languages like Java, C, C++, or Python, for instance, and software frameworks like Eclipse, NetBeans, Visual Studio, React, Flutter, Anaconda, Hadoop, Spark, and many others. It's important to say that all the software you'll need to study is available online using the AWS cloud, so there's no need to install anything locally if you don't want to. Beyond this, some of the laboratories that have extensive use in this program are special interest. The Tech Factory, for example, is a space where all computers are equipped with professional software licenses so students can monetize their work. This is not possible with educational licensing. Other example is our new advanced computing data center, which is the seed of a growing center of high-performance systems that are configured in cluster mode to serve some activity related to big data, simulations, rendering, or artificial intelligence, for example. In addition, an agreement with Amazon and Cisco allows us to offer students unlimited access to documentation that they can use to prepare for some certifications, such as Cisco Certified Networking Associate or Amazon Web Services Cloud Architect. On the other hand, we will have a great opportunity to learn without having to take exams. How? By joining one of the many clubs that exist within the university. For example, the robotics club, the coding club, the science club, or any of the other student clubs. And of course, you can choose one of the more than 200 companies with which we have an internship agreement, so you can have the real experience of working on real projects. Now, I'd like to show you the 4-year curriculum and help you identify where you can find our project-based learning methodology. As you can see, the first year heavily involves general engineering subjects such as calculus, algebra, and physics. But even in this period, you will find a first year with the sole objective of carrying out a first engineering project. The same will be repeated in the second and third year, where in addition to other subjects related to your specific interests like computer networks, artificial intelligence, big data, robotics, or whatever, you will face 2 other increasingly complex projects that will help the students, number 1, to face the final project with the best preparation, and number 2, to reduce the gap between the university and the real world. In this sense, finally, let me talk a little bit about soft skills, because we really believe that professional success is only achieved from a double perspective, technical, of course, but also the competency profile of our students. That is why we have included 3 courses to help students develop some habits, behaviors, and attitudes that we consider crucial for any profession. I'm referring to critical thinking, decision-making, oral and written communication, conflict management, leadership, entrepreneurial spirit, and some other skills that employers look for in every candidate. And that's all from my side. If you have any question, please use this time to make this question in right now, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lara. Dr. Lara is at the forefront of IT engineering research, so we're really, really fortunate to have him on our staff here in the Faculty of STEAM. Again, that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. It appears that no questions have come through at the moment, but again, we will get in contact with you tomorrow to send you the electronic version of your brochure and assign you your very own enrollment advisor. So if you do have any questions that come up regarding our bachelor's degree in computer engineering, we'd be happy to answer those after this open house event as well. Now, before I speak on behalf of Dr. Veronica Ejido about our bachelor degrees in aerospatial and aircraft engineering, industrial system engineering, and civil engineering, please enjoy this short video about our mechanics and our automotive club.
Estamos en el circuito del Jarama en Madrid y hoy estamos haciendo una exhibición que es el Madrid Motor Student para relacionarnos con otros equipos y también establecer conexiones con empresas ajenas.
Básicamente lo que hacemos es hacer un coche de fórmula desde cero entre los mismos alumnos de cada titulación de la universidad. En el club actualmente formamos entre 20 y 30 personas, entonces yo considero que se aprende bastante y te puedes ubicar mucho en lo que te interesa trabajar en el futuro.
Hoy hemos traído nuestro coche de Fórmula Student que ha estado compitiendo este verano en Barcelona y en Silverstone con otros equipos de otras universidades, y hoy hemos participado en un circuito en skidpad, es decir, un circuito en 8, y luego también hemos hecho una prueba de aceleración en nuestra categoría de combustible.
Creo que el coche el año que viene va a ser muy rápido y nos lo vamos a pasar muy bien haciéndolo, construyéndolo y conduciéndolo.
I would now like to inform you about the bachelor's degree in aerospace and aircraft engineering. As we mentioned, we've said it time and time again, we are a project-based school. What does this mean? This means that you are going to participate in several projects throughout the 4 years of your degree. We believe projects are the best way to prepare our students. Projects make it possible to link different subjects such as fluid mechanics, aeronautical structures, aeroelasticity, and as in the real world. How do we do this? With qualified staff and, of course, with excellent hardware, as well as software facilities. For example, SolidWorks, CATIA, ANSYS, Fluent, Nastran Patran, and with unlimited access to all of our laboratories. Finally, in the 4th year, you will have to undertake an internship. This gives you the opportunity to work with an engineer hand in hand in leading companies like the European Space Agency, Iberia, Airbus, European Space Academic Center, as well as many others. And lastly, you will have a great opportunity to join one of the many clubs within the university, particularly the Air Division Club, whose students participated in the launch of a Pico satellite into space in January of this year, in conjunction with the Spanish Radio Association. This club is currently working on rockets and CubeSats as well. Here you see on the screen the 4-year curriculum of our degree in aerospace and aircraft engineering. As you can see, the first year largely entails general engineering subjects such as calculus, algebra, and physics. In the 2nd through 4th years, you will see subjects related to your specific interests, for example, satellite design, space vehicles, aeronautical structures, etc. And of course, students, families, if you have any questions about this degree, my colleague Oscar Soto would be happy to answer those in the Q&A session. Now, let's delve into our bachelor's degree in industrial system engineering. With an innovative structure, this degree allows you to take general courses the first 2 years and then choose between different specializations. However, in English, we only offer the specialization in mechanics. So if you want to study, for example, automatics or electronics, you will have the first 2 years in English and then the following 2 years in Spanish. You will have the opportunity to become a member of the automotive club and be part of the team that will be attending the Formula Student Competition for the 14th consecutive year. As you can see, you will also have the opportunity to carry out your internship in companies such as Siemens, Indra, Airbus, Altran, etc. Here you can see, again, the 4-year curriculum and the different subjects, such as basic subjects in the 1st and 2nd year, and more specific ones in the 3rd and 4th year. It is truly wonderful to be able to kind of personalize your 4-year curriculum, your 4-year study plan within this bachelor's degree. So next, last but not least, before I hand the reins over to our professors of architecture, let's talk a bit about our bachelor's degree in civil engineering. We are pioneers in BIM, that means Building Information Modeling, and we are proud to be the first university to include new technologies in the curriculum. For example, BIM methodology, project management tools, and techniques aimed at improving sustainability and energy efficiency. As you can see, it is a very international degree with 72% of international students. And once again, companies such as OHL, Sacre, and Acciona will give you the opportunity to carry out your curricular internship toward the end of your bachelor's degree. Here again, I know I keep flipping back and forth, but I want you all to take a good look at the 4-year curriculum and the study plan of our degree in civil engineering. Again, students, if you have any questions about these 3 aforementioned engineering degrees that I've just discussed with you here briefly, please hold those for the Q&A session in which my colleague, again, Oscar Soto, would be happy to answer in that session. And finally, I'm going to put on my headphones because I would like to introduce our next professors to speak, Drs. Domoso and Dr. Abasolo, who have so kindly dedicated their time and expertise regarding the bachelor's degree in fundamentals of architecture They are connecting with us here virtually this evening. And let me put in my headphone so I can hear them loud and clear. Hi there, Dr. Abasoto. How are you?
Hello, Alan. Thank you so much for your introduction. It's really a pleasure to being here today. So, well, I'm going to explain, I'm going to give all you some outlines about the architecture program. I would underline four points. The 4 points you are seeing on the screen, like for instance, I would say our school is the first school in Europe to achieve the NAB certification and the RIVA validation, which facilitates the alumni integration in the profession in the UK and the United States. Also, we must take in account that these important accreditations mean that our architecture program equates the quality standards between our program and any American or British architecture program, which is quite relevant, I think. Secondly, I would say innovation is one of the pillars of the program of architecture. And just as an example, I would underline the digital tools we use in the schools, such as BIM technology, among others. Third pillar would be internationality, of course, which is essential in our degree. In fact, architects, we are international professionals. In which way we develop the internationality at the school? In many ways, for instance, 60% of our students in the program are international, and also many teachers who work abroad, they have international profile. And also, and now I speak as a teacher, we handle many international case studies at class, because we must take in account that any architect must be ready to work abroad the world. Finally, I would underline the top facilities we offer, like digital fabrication fab lab and other labs or workspaces for design, construction, and modeling, like for instance, the BIM lab. And if we go to the next slides, Alan, please, thank you so much. I will speak about the program, about the curriculum, just a little bit, some points. For example, I would say that compared to other degrees or professions, the architect may have different profiles and expertises. In this regard, the curriculum contains different packs of different courses and areas, such as, for instance, design, construction, history, management, drawing, etc., which all of them are articulated by the project workshops. The project workshops you see along the different academic years. These project workshops, by the way, are the backbone of the degree. Also, I would say that in contrast to Europe, our architecture program is not only based on design, as in the rest of Europe, but it's design plus technology, which gives us a big advantage among other European architects. Third, I would say that, of course, this amount of courses from different areas, and so differently, make the degree a little bit longer than other degrees. In our case, it's not the typical 4-year degree, it's a 5-year degree, plus an extra 6 year of master. And now I will stop here in this master point. What's a master degree you see in the 6th year? Well, of course, it's a master, but also it's the direct access to the profession of the architect, not only in Spain, in Europe, because this master is it's the qualification of the architect. In other countries, this qualification consists of an exam or consists of a 2-year internship. In Spain, is much more direct. It's by taking this only 1-year master. Yeah, Alan, I think we could go to the next slides. Thank you. And yeah, Well, so no, well, yeah. Thank you so much, Alan. And just for ending, I would like to underline 4 reasons to study bachelor's or master's degree in architecture at Universidad Europea. First of all, our school is a project-based school, which means our methodology of learning is based in the development of real projects. Students work in team and collaborate with studies companies or international universities. Some subjects, in this case, are workshops to allow the students to get a graphic portfolio with their works. Second point, we introduced it in the first slides, has to do with workshops and laboratories. We have a combined use of traditional workshops, of course, like arts and craft or analogic workshops, but also we are working on quite often in digital laboratories with Mac Classroom, graphic scenes, Classroom, Fab Lab, etc. Third point would be the professors who are one of the essences of the program. All these professors, they are almost all of them professionals. They have their own studios, they work for real companies, and also, as I said before, most of them have this essential international profile which is required in this type of degree. And finally, of course, the international approach. The school guides students for the global employability, as I said before, thanks to the international offer of mobility in prestigious schools of architecture and design, or thanks to these international profiles of students and teachers or projects we develop at the school. So, as an image is worth than 1,000 words, now we will just pass 4 images of architecture activities we develop at the school, like these models we do, or activities like lectures by prestigious guests like Machanti, some images of construction and technology. And well, I think that's all. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll be delighted to ask any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abasolo, and thank you again to Dr. Lara, who has had to depart the university to catch a plane. But professors, you really are what make our university distinguish itself, and we really appreciate your time and expertise. Prior to clarifying the admissions process, scholarship programs, and living in Spain, please enjoy this short video about our campus here in Villaviciosa de Odón. So I would now like to touch upon the admissions process. First, I would like to mention that the application window for this upcoming 2023-2024 academic year is currently open, and we do encourage you all to participate. You may be wondering, what do I have to do? Well, the first step will be to establish contact with one of our dedicated enrollment advisors, who will be your main point of contact throughout the admissions process up until you register for classes. Now, we will assign you an advisor that is a true expert in the degree of your choice, answering any questions you may have, and providing you and your family a campus tour of our state of the art installations. Your advisor will give you access to your pre student portal and send you your online admissions test, which consists of, irrelevant of your degree, a professional skills and abilities test, which will evaluate, for example, how you work in group settings, how you make decisions, what your level of empathy is like, self motivation, etc. Secondly, all students will complete a written interview comprised of 5 questions in which you will need to respond as honestly and detailed as possible. Lastly, all students, regardless of any previous official language certificates they may have, will need to take a Spanish level exam and an English level exam. These are 50 minutes in duration and contain a grammar, listening, and reading section. Kindly note that if your maternal language is either Spanish or English, you will not need to take that specific test. Upon completing your online admissions test, our selection committee will evaluate your results and within about 24 to 48 hours, relay your admission status to your advisor, who will be in touch with you as soon as possible. If you are admitted and the Universidad Europea is the right fit for you, your next step will be to reserve your place within your pre-student portal. This will guarantee your spot within your bachelor's degree, allow you to proceed forward with the registration process, permit you to apply for scholarships, and of course, provide you that peace of mind, knowing you are officially off to university in the fall of 2023. There are a limited number of spaces per degree, so it is my recommendation to start that process at your nearest convenience. As I mentioned before, the Universidad Europea de Madrid does offer a competitive scholarship program that provides financial aid to our students of particularly high academic and athletic performance and prowess. Kindly note that you will find within our webpage a multitude of scholarships. However, I would like to highlight the 2 that are applicable to our international students. The first is what we call in Spanish the Beca de Excelencia, or the Scholarship of Excellence, which is awarded to those students of high academic standing whose annual household income does not exceed 100,000 euros a year. This scholarship covers 3,000 euros of your tuition annually, and do note that you can apply for this scholarship between March 16th and July 16th of 2023, only if your reservation fee has been paid. You will submit your final high school grades through our scholarship online portal, and do note that any application submitted after July 16th will not be considered. The second scholarship I would like to highlight is called the Plan Compite, or the Plan Compete. This is granted to those incoming scholar athletes of particularly high athletic standing. These candidates must accredit their athletic performance within the last year through the Ministry or Federation of Sports within their home country. Now, this scholarship will cover 30% of their tuition, excluding the reservation fee and the file opening fee, and students can apply for the scholarship starting April 1st of 2023. You may be wondering, can I apply for both? Yes, you can apply for both scholarships, and if granted both, students will receive the one that is most financially beneficial. Lastly, I would like to point out that for all incoming students for our 2023-2024 academic year, we do have an early enrollment discount of 50% in the reservation fee this month of November. And again, if you would like to start the process to apply for one of these degrees, you can get in contact with one of our enrollment advisors. You can go ahead and take your test now, and if admitted, you can go ahead and reserve your place and enjoy that 50% discount in your reservation fee. Now, prior to opening the floor for Q&A, I would like to briefly touch upon the experience of living in Madrid, particularly for those students that will be relocating from another country. As I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, I am a foreigner myself. I'm originally from the United States of America, from Memphis, Tennessee, and I've had the fortune of calling Madrid home for the past 7 years. Now, Madrid is Spain's main cultural and business hub, abundant in world-class museums like the Prado, the Reina Sofia, and the Thyssen, sports venues, awe-inspiring architecture and monuments, parks and green spaces, and houses the headquarters of countless multinational companies, institutions, hospitals. Madrid is an extremely welcoming city, and in my humble opinion, it boasts a street life vibrancy, hospitality, and overall quality of life comparable to none. Located in the dead center of the country and the geographic center of the nation, Madrid is well connected by both air and rail to all corners of Spain and other major European cities. Thanks to our high-speed train system, we are just about 2.5 hours from Barcelona, Valencia, and Sevilla and Malaga down in the south, and just about 6 hours driving from Portugal's two major cities of Lisbon and Porto. Not to mention, the day trip excursions from Madrid are endless. For those nature enthusiasts, Madrid is just about a 45-minute drive from the Sierra de Guadarrama, which is a mountain range that bisects the Iberian Peninsula. And for those history buffs, we are just an hour's drive away from the medieval towns of Toledo, Segovia, and Avila. Madrid has a mild, dry, and pleasant climate year-round, although it's quite chilly from December to February, and very hot and dry in the months of July and August. As far as living situations are concerned, we offer 2 on-campus student dormitories that are managed by a company called Xior, that's X-I-O-R. Additionally, there are ample student residences within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón, just a few minutes from campus by bus. However, for those of you wishing to live in the middle of the hustle and bustle, right in the heart of downtown Madrid, the campus is fortunately well connected by public transport. For example, the commute from Madrid's Príncipe Pío station to our campus takes approximately 30 minutes. And aside from public transportation, our university provides our own transportation with buses departing from Moncloa 6 times a day. Regarding health insurance, there are various options at your disposal. However, according to their prices, coverage, and overall quality of doctors and healthcare staff, we would recommend Nueva Mutua Sanitaria, whose contact information you will find there on the screen. Lastly, regarding your student visa, please note that we will provide you the documentation needed to file for your visa through the Spanish embassy or consulate in your home country once your reservation fee has been paid and you have confirmed your place for the upcoming academic year. We hope you enjoy this short video about our university clubs and extracurricular activities prior to opening the floor for questions and answers.
La vida universitaria te está esperando. Sabes que cuentas con más de 25 clubes donde puedes desarrollar todas tus habilidades y además conocer personas con tu misma afición.
¿Te gusta diseñar y construir objetos? Te invito a que te unas a los clubes de Fórmula, Robótica, Informática, Ciencias, Física, Game Studio o Air Division. Además, estos equipos participan en competiciones a nivel nacional e internacional, representando a nuestra universidad.
Tal vez te interesen actividades más culturales, así que puedes apuntarte al club de cine, al de teatro o al de fotografía.
Seguro que tienes el talento necesario.
También tenemos clubes para quienes quieran divertirse con juegos o deporte, como el club de eSport, el entrenamiento, club de rol o ajedrez. Jaque mate.
¿Eres trotamundos? Entonces tus clubes son o Relaciones Internacionales o Modelos de Naciones Unidas, que van a encuentros internacionales y nacionales. De hecho, este año fueron a París y a Dubái para representarnos.
En cambio, si lo tuyo es medicina, odontología, fisioterapia, psicología, biotecnología o ingeniería biomédica, contamos con agrupaciones para titulaciones específicas.
Estás a la última en todo, entonces no puedes perderte clubes como Pride
o podcast.
Y si aún así no encuentras un club que te interese, puedes crear uno nuevo.
So we will now open the floor for Q&A. Within the live chat, you're free to ask us any questions you may have about each degree that we discussed, the admissions process, our campus, living in Spain, etc. Dr. Abasolo or myself will answer each in order of reception. We also have a few colleagues from the admissions department that will answer within the live chat. Please note that we are happy to answer any and all questions now, but as I mentioned, tomorrow we will get in contact with you over email to send you the electronic brochure of your degree with the tuition fees, and we will assign you your very own dedicated enrollment advisor. So we have two questions that have come in through the chat, and these are both directed towards you, Dr. Abasolo. The first is from Juan. Juan, thank you so much for your question. Juan is asking about the agreements with other universities for aerospace engineering. So it looks like Juan is looking to study abroad to have an international experience for a semester or an entire year, and he's wondering about which universities does he have the option to study abroad.
Okay, Juan, thank you so much for your question. It's in fact it's a very relevant question. So, well, I will summarize some of my favorite destinations in the aerospace program. I cannot tell you all them, but my favorite ones, or my students' favorite ones. First of all, I would underline Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona, Miami, United States. This Embry-Riddle school is, I would say, the top one school in aerospace in the United States. We are speaking about the United States. And we are one of the few schools of engineering in Spain who has an exchange agreement with them, which is really, we are really privileged for this. This exchange agreement is in undergraduate, but also recently we have signed an agreement in the master's level, which allows our students to get a dual degree with our master's degree in aeronautical engineering with Embry-Riddle master's degree in aerospace engineering, which is even more relevant. Apart from Embry-Riddle, I would say 2 or 3 more destinations. For instance, University of Hertfordshire in the UK. Hertfordshire is one of the most famous references in aerospace in the UK. And in this destination, we also have exchange program in the undergraduate level, and also a dual degree, which allows our 4th year students in aerospace to get their undergraduate degree. Okay, so in this regard, the program works in this way. You take 3 years at UEM in Madrid, and the 4th year you take it in Hertfordshire, and you get their degree plus our degree. Also, other relevant destinations are San Diego State University in the United States, Coventry University in England, or I would say Arlington University in Texas, United States. As you can see, most of our best destinations in aerospace are in the United States and in the United Kingdom. Of course, we have more destinations, some of them in Europe, but I would say these are the most successful destinations, or the favorite countries among our aerospace students.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Professor. And again, Juan, just to follow up with you, I would like to share with you a really interesting tool that you have at your disposal. If you go into Google and you type in Universidad Europea de Madrid, move on, just like it sounds in English, MOVE space ON, it will lead you to a web page that's called the Destination Map, in which you can select the degree of your choice here at the Universidad Europea, and you will see a global map with dots pointing to all of the universities with which we have agreements for you to study abroad as well. So we actually have another question that's come in for you, Dr. Abasolo. This is regarding our degree in architecture. This is from Ale. Thank you for your question, Ale. Ale is asking, in the online brochure of the architecture program, it is mentioned that the course is only 85% in English. Can you please clarify?
Yes. Okay. The academic program has 5 years, right? In the first 3 years, all the courses are in English, but in the 4th and 5th year, we start to implement some few courses in Spanish. Just few, just 15%. Why? Because we also consider that even though the teaching in English facilitates your integration to the program, also it's good that you learn some Spanish, some technical Spanish for architecture. Why? Because in the 5th year, you may take the internship, all right? So if you never learn Spanish and you take that internship in Madrid, for instance, you may have difficulties, no, in order to integrate to the studio or the company. In this regard, what we make is a plan in which consists of first 3 years everything English. In the meanwhile, the students can learn a little bit of Spanish, and 4th year some few courses in Spanish, and 5th year and some other few courses in Spanish.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abasolo. So we have another question from Ms. Alexandra Boniu. Alexandra, thank you for your question. She's asked, when does the admission for the architecture degree for 2023 start? As I mentioned, the application window is currently open. It's been open here for a couple of weeks. So now is an opportune time for you to get in contact with your enrollment advisor, go ahead and take your admissions test, and reserve your place for the upcoming year. So you can do that at your nearest convenience. And again, this applies for all of our bachelor degrees. They will remain open. The application window will remain open until all the spots are filled. Once the spots are filled, we will close the application window and we will create a waiting list. So thank you for your question, Alexandra. So we now have 2 questions for my colleague, Oscar Soto, who will answer these questions in the live chat. This question is from Omar Hossam. Thank you, Omar, for your question. Omar has asked, after paying the entrance fees to the university, will it be deducted from the semester fees? After paying the entrance fees to the university, will it be deducted from the semester fees? And again, Oscar will answer that within our live chat. Oscar, we have another question for you. This one is from Emilio Lopez. Emilio has asked, I would like to know if the entire aerospace engineering course is in English or if at some point something is given in Spanish. And again, Oscar will answer that in our live chat. And there is the contact information for Oscar as well. And again, we will contact you here tomorrow or within the next couple of days to provide you the electronic brochure of your degree of choice. We will assign you an enrollment advisor, but there you have a true expert himself, Oscar Soto, and his contact information. So we do want to give the students a final opportunity to send in any last-minute questions. And Dr. Abasolo, while I have your attention, I would like to put the spotlight back on you. Of course, these students are probably considering many universities. They're probably considering a couple of different degrees. Why would the students choose the Universidad Europea de Madrid to embark on their university studies, knowing that they're probably considering many universities in several different countries? Why the Universidad Europea de Madrid? What is one outstanding aspect of our university that makes us rise above the rest?
Well, definitely I would say internationality. I mean, internationality is not only international stays as the international mobility we have been speaking before. It goes beyond. It's teaching in English, international faculty, amount of international students, international case studies, international trips, international research. If we add all these international actions together, I would say Universidad Europea is the most international university in Spain, or one of the most international universities. Maybe other universities could be strong in one of these items, but not in all of them. So I would say that, Alan.
I could not agree with you more. As I mentioned, about 30% of our students are international, 1 in every 3. And walking around the halls of the Universidad Europea de Madrid kind of gives you the impression that you're walking the halls of the United Nations. You will see dozens of nationalities represented here on our campus, many different languages being spoken. Of course, in addition to these degrees, we also offer a wide portfolio of bachelor degrees that are offered in addition to Spanish, 100% in English, as well as physical therapy in French. So it really is a very dynamic and diverse student body here at the Universidad Europea. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Abasolo. And students, with that QR code that you see there on the screen, you can actually take a 360 panoramic tour of our different installations. It's a really wonderful tool to get to know what the laboratories, what the workshops are going to be like, where you're going to be participating in practical classes. So I do encourage you to take a picture of that QR code and take a tour of our installations. And again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation of this event, you are all more than welcome to come to our campus in person and take a tour of our installations, our classrooms, the dining halls, the student residences, just to get a really good feel of the university, because it is such an important decision. So that will conclude our Q&A session. Thank you, students, for your questions, and thank you to our professors and colleagues for your detailed answers. Students attending this evening, choosing a university and a degree is without doubt one of the most difficult decisions a young person has to make. So it is my recommendation to research in detail a wide range of universities, to take a look at their four-year curriculum, to evaluate the professors and on-campus installation, to take into account the internship offerings and explore the various extracurricular activities at hand. Because those of us that are a bit older than you can agree that your university years from 18 to 22 or 23 years old is perhaps one of the most exciting chapters in a person's life. So if you do envision yourself studying through project-based learning, gaining experience in a professional setting, participating in clubs and team sports, we have over 25, and cultivating lifelong friendships with classmates from all corners of the globe, perhaps the Universidad Europea de Madrid is the right fit for you. On behalf of the university, thank you so much for connecting with us this evening. I again want to thank all of our devoted professors, Drs. Lara, Dr. Abasolo, Dr. Domoso, who's there by Dr. Abasolo's side, for sharing their time with us this evening. Thank you to my team within the admissions department, David, Estefi, and Oscar, as well as to the technicians and the production team for making this event a reality. And of course, a very special thank you to all interested students and families for your participation in this open house event about our Faculty of STEAM. Classes will start in September of 2023, and we do hope to see you all around campus. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Buenas noches and good evening.